Okay. What's the order time?
Hello everyone. Welcome to Sports Comedy. Um, but yeah, I don't know where to start again today, bro. It's been a weird day. It was a long night for me. I tried as much as I could, to be very honest, to watch Nitish Reddy score 100, but it was 5 in the morning, and unfortunately, rain had disrupted play. But just the entire day, the way I think Washington and Nitish Reddy went about their business, there's a lot of good things to talk about after day three. It's still a very tough test match for India to win. I don't think there is a win on here for us, but yeah, at the very least to secure a draw, I think India put themselves in a great position after day three. We lost again. Just to quickly sum up the day, it was it was Ravindra Jadeja and Rishabh Pant who started off the day. Jadeja was looking all right, I thought. And Rishabh Pant goes for one of those. There was nothing really in the pitch. I think Rishabh Pant was also looking great. He goes for one of those extravagant scoops, and it doesn't quite work out. Goes and he holds out at deep third man, Nathan Lyon taking that catch, and then Jadeja fell soon after. He looked like he was really struggling to Lyon, who was able to really skid those balls on. He got caught on the crease a couple of times before that, before he even got out. So that was Jadeja. But then Nitish Reddy and Washington Sundar together putting up an incredible stand. I think both of them played extremely well, showed amazing maturity, ran very well between the wickets, and they kept the strike taking. We'll get to all of that, and I think it's a special 100 for Ritesh Reddy, who's probably been India's one of India's best players so far in this series.
I think he
So
is the top scorer of India so far, no? After his century, I think.
yeah, he is, and the and for a guy batting who has batted basically at eight every game, so it's incredible what he's achieved. Batting so low in the order, batting with the tail basically every game, So and yeah, but it was a little dramatic towards the end because Washington got out and then you had Bumrah getting out and Siraj had to block those three balls of Cummins. It was dramatic, but I think it was a fitting finish. What a player, and I'm super excited for what Nitish Reddy has to deliver in the future. But let's take it a little slow. Let's go back to the start of the day. Um, it's been a weird one. And before even the day started, India, there was a lot of drama around day two because of what happened with Virat Kohli, Yashasvi Jaiswal, that insane run out. It again all started with Rohit Sharma not firing. We spoke about this. It would be Rohit potentially opening the batting, and he didn't live up to expectations at all. It was a nothing shot that he got out to. Um, After that, I think KL Rahul just unlucky, man. We got probably the best ball of the series. I don't think anyone would have played that. And yeah, soon after, you got a great partnership between Kohli and Yashasvi Jaiswal. I didn't watch Kohli bat, but based on whatever I've heard, it sounded like he was doing everything right. He wasn't fishing outside off stump. And after Jaiswal went after that, quite incredible run out. He does go for one outside off, and he nicks one to Alex Carey. So that was the story of day two, and day three began with what I just said. Before we discuss the happenings of day three, Rishi, just quickly on Rohit Sharma. I think I don't want this to be a Rohit Sharma discussion because I think there are some special things that have happened today, and we have to focus on that. But quickly on Rohit Sharma, what we'll get to again Virat Kohli and Yashasvi Jaiswal, but yeah, Rohit Sharma quickly. Nothing has happened, bro. Like it's from the beginning, very beginning. It just looked not okay for him. He batted at six. He's now batted or he's opened the batting. He's tried various things, but it's just not happening. And that shot was a nothing shot. And is it really time? And there are a lot of rumors now suggesting that he could be retiring. So yeah, what do you think about Rohit?
No, I think first of all, like we had to chase a mammoth total, considering the fact that they had pretty much laid out the plan. It was not that hard for us to like the pitch wasn't doing as much. Like right from ball one, like the pitch was pretty docile to. I think this was the most batter friendly pitch after how the Perth pitch had deteriorated. I think if you were to check from the first innings comparison, like comparatively, I think this was the easiest track and the most docile track to bat on. I felt
Yeah.
like even the ball wasn't doing a lot. Like even the new ball wasn't doing a lot. Like there was hardly any lateral movement in this game. Considering that, like the way Rohit Sharma got out the ball, that it was a ball that pitched again maybe on the fourth stump and was moving outside, that hit the seam and moved outside. There was no, under no circumstances should you be chipping it down the like hitting it across the line. Like that was a kind of shot that you would play in a T20 when there's power play, when you're trying to get it over the 30 yard
Yeah.
circle, when you're trying to force it down the 30-yard circle. And when you have such a big task, like you need your senior players, you need your big guns to be responsible. But then again, like that, I think this has been the story, right, of Rohit Sharma. Like, where do you fit him? Where do you shoehorn him? Like, you've sacrificed a young batsman for him, like for him, so that he is accommodated. You've sacrificed your arguably the most. I feel even though Nitish Kumar Reddy has been our highest scorer, I felt like it's been KL Rahul who has been our best batter this series, and
No,
we've
that
had
yeah,
to
for sure.
sacrifice. We've had to sacrifice him. We have to push him down to number three, and I don't think it was that difficult or that different for KL Rahul. It was pretty much like he was just opening. It's like he went to the washroom and came back 5 minutes late and was opening. It was pretty much like that. He didn't miss out on much. So again, like he is a walking wicket, and I think everyone, like it was pretty subtle all this while, like leading up to the series, even the first test, like the commentators, the pundits, it was pretty subtle till then. But I feel right now everyone are pointing out the writing is on the wall. Like I don't think there's anything left to do. I don't think there's any experiment there. I don't think there's any stone left unturned. I don't think there's any experiment that's left to be, like, tried. I feel it is overtime. It is long overdue. And yeah, I think regardless of how the series pans out, I think serious questions need to be asked about Rohit Sharma, about the seniors, about the commitment of the seniors towards this team. And yeah, dude. Yeah.
No, I think it's a story that's coming to a close. I really think it's coming to an end. I think we'll discuss this a little more later on. But yeah, quickly, Adi, bro, for you between Jaiswal and Kohli, it was a weird run out. Who was at fault? Sanjay Bangar clearly has come out and said that he's got into a tussle with Irfan Pathan also over this. He came out and said it was the non-striker's fault for not trusting the striker's instincts. Now, I think it's a yeah, did I say Sanjay Bangar? Right? I meant Sanjay Manjrekar. But yeah, it's a weird one because while I think there was no single there, I think it was wrong on Kohli's part to turn back and look at the ball. While he should be sort of trusting his striker. I don't think there was a run on anyways. But yeah, just by if you really want to go by the textbook, I think that's the only thing I would say about it. Where I just don't think Kohli should be ball watching. Should probably be looking at Jaiswal, trusting his call. Now, if he's called for the run, well, it's his danger end. The ball is going to come at his end. I guess that's pretty much it for me. I kind of understand what Sanjay Manjrekar is saying with regards to this. Vali, what's your take, bro?
See, the thing, I mean, it's a very polarized topic. I feel like, I think, there's big cases to be made on both sides. Firstly, do you think it's a run? See, bro, for me, I think if it was any other batsman, maybe it was not a run. But the fact that when Kohli's on strike, he takes these singles a lot. I've seen him even in the New Zealand Test, Bangladesh Test, coming to Australia. He takes a lot of sneaky singles. He's been doing that for a very long time in his Test career, right? So if Jaiswal, and I think when you're running in between the wickets, there is an understanding between the striker and non-striker. If you guys, if Jaiswal and Virat are on the pitch, I think they have an understanding. They know when to push for singles, when they won't. For example, if Jaiswal took the shot and if Rohit Sharma was there, I am 200% sure Jaiswal wouldn't even made an effort to take a single there. Just for the fact that it's Kohli, for years he's been taking singles. If it was Kohli who was on the striker's end, I know for a fact there's a high chance of him going for a single in that position. Like I've seen him taking a lot of singles like that. So I get why Jaiswal would have pushed for the single, just for the fact that Kohli does the same thing. That understanding must be there. If we have to take pressure singles or put pressure on the fielders, let's take it. The issue with me was, Jaiswal ran. I don't think he had a loud enough call to say take a run. And secondly, you see how Virat's stance. It was he took 2-3 steps forward, which instigated Jaiswal to continue his run. If Kohli immediately said no, Jaiswal would have come back immediately. There was no real hard call from Kohli saying no run or anything. Like as a non-striker, that's the basic communication is needed. You need to say no run if you're not going to go for a single there. Kohli takes 2, 3, 4 steps front, and then he realizes the ball's just here. He turns back, he realizes, and then he just goes back to his crease. I would I wouldn't really blame it just on Jaiswal for the fact that if there's a run out, I always blame both of them because runouts is always, it's like a double-edged sword. It can't be just from one guy. It has to be from another guy also. Kohli could have done better. He could have said no. He shouldn't have left his crease and given a start. Like the way he started, I really thought he was going to take a single there. From the angle they showed. So I would just blame it 50-50. I feel like uh, as a non-striker, you have to be able to call no loudly. And as a striker, if you're able to see the ball going there, straight to who was it? Cummins, right? It depends. Like if that's the thing. I feel sad because like I think if it was Rohit Sharma there or Pant there, like I don't think he would have ran. Even today, Jadeja Pant had the same issue. It was literally ditto copy. Both of them, Jadeja when he was on strike, even Pant when they were on strike. That's the thing. I don't know if it is a again, I go back to coaching just for the fact that are these coaches saying them take sneaky singles if it's there to take sneaky singles? Because yesterday it happened. After yesterday, it was such a big controversy. Then you get Pant and Jadeja coming in today. Both of them are doing the same thing, exact same thing. And today Pant did the same thing. In the first time when Jadeja almost got run out, you can see Pant, he didn't move from his crease. He just stood there. He just stood there the entire time. And the thing is, he was also ball watching. He's looking where the ball went. He didn't really give a hard call saying no. And the second time, Jadeja, same thing, literally ditto the same thing. Punt hits the ball. It was a very, the defense was so slow that even the ball was rolling slowly. And then he runs 2-3 steps. And then Jadeja doesn't give a hard call saying no. Then he luckily saw Jadeja, he didn't run and came back. That's my point. I don't know if there's something understanding between the batting units saying that let's put pressure on the field, let's take sneaks, the sneaky singles or not, or is it a coaching thing? Is it captaincy or is it just made on the field? I don't know what it is, but the fact that the players have not even been able to learn from something so fresh like yesterday, that's a bit concerning in terms of being aware of the game, being aware of what happened yesterday, being able to conserve a wicket when you know that you don't have an extra batsman today also. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, I feel like it's both, bro. Like I always put blame on both of them.
Yeah, it's not the best. Yeah, I think somewhat I agree. Like in the sense that the running hasn't been great.
But
I
do you
think
guys
that's
think
something
there was
that's
ever a run there? Because say Virat Kohli, like with the start he takes also, imagine he continues. Do you guys think he would have reached? Because I don't think if Cummins straight up picks it and throws it to carry, I don't think Virat Kohli makes the ground.
No,
I like
I don't think
there
there's
was
a
never
run
a run
there.
there to
I
be
don't
made.
think
See,
there's
in
a run there actually.
hindsight,
But
in hindsight, the way Cummins threw the ball, you can say he would have been safe. But
no, dude.
but for me,
He would
Like
not
when it's
go at
going
the
straight to
striker.
the
He would
fielder, like right there, like the
he
no,
like
no,
would
no, I'm
go
saying
at
in
the
hindsight,
non-striker.
if he's bro, like in hindsight, the way
Dude, like
Cummins threw, you can say yeah, I would have like I think Virat would have reached in easily if he'd had an early start because you could
no,
see Jaiswal was already there next to Virat. Like by the time he got out,
it's no, dude. Like if Jaiswal took off and Virat took off when the call was made, he would
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
he would not go at Virat's end. It would go to the non-striker. It was only because the confusion was created that he's gone to the striker. Otherwise, he would not go to the striker's end. He would go to the non-striker's end itself. That's the most as somebody if you watch cricket, like obviously you know that in these situations the ball 99% of the times if both the players have reacted, it will go to the non-strikers end. It's the closer end, it's where the run out opportunity is there. He probably doesn't even go to the strikers end, so I don't think it's a question of Virat Kohli getting out anyways. It's a question of whether there was a run or not, and if Jaiswal believes there was a run, he's anyways going to the danger end. I don't think Kohli needs to look back. I think that's something that
Bro,
you're told as a kid you shouldn't ball watch. Like it's not a mad new thing that's come up. You know, as a non-striker, you should not be looking back. You should be looking at your striker. That's not a. I don't think there's an excuse per se for that.
no, but I think if you again just because is there a run or not, and if it's going to the danger end, that's a different thing. I feel like the first thing is communication. Even with Jaiswal, he didn't communicate loud enough saying take the single. He just started running. You look at the tape, it's Jaiswal just hits his straight and starts running. He didn't. There was no communication between them, like
Yeah.
go for
No,
the
no,
run,
fair
etc.
enough. Fair enough. Like that's
And
fair.
even with Virat, there was no hard no. Like Virat took 2-3 steps and then he went back. Like that's my point. Both of them were not committed. So it comes down to before when they're talking in between the wickets of pre-match plan, whatever it is. Is there an understanding between runners saying, if we have certain runs, let's push it. Let's just push it no matter what. Like it is a risk. No matter what, Jaiswal took a risk. It might go to his end. It might go to Carey's end. I actually think both of them were equally danger. Just for the fact
No,
that
no,
I,
no,
I
bro.
think
If it's a normal run, I think 80-90% of the times it goes to the non-striker. There's no way
no,
run
the
goes
thing
to.
is, in that situation, Jaiswal was more ready to reach his crease than Virat. So I think Virat was always in a danger end just for the fact that he didn't take. You see, Jaiswal he was playing outside the crease anyways, and he took 2-3 steps front.
No, that's
So
fair.
for in
Hmm.
that situation, I feel like Jaiswal would have reached that non-striker's side very easily. You could see how quickly he reached. Only fact is, it comes down to communication. You need to have a proper understanding between you know
Hmm.
your partner as a non-striker. Like,
Fair
are
enough.
we going to push these singles? Like, you need to have certain communications done before. Like, if it's going there, we know, Cummins is on mid off, right? So it's like, are you ready to take those runs? Are you not ready to take those runs? It's
Yeah.
just a matter of, are we pushing this? Yes or no? If it's yes, Virat just looks at Jaiswal. He's running. You run. You can't look back. You can't see if the ball is going to his hand and then make a call. It just doesn't make sense. So I think that's the point. Like it just comes down to communication, and that's why I say I think it's both of their not fault, but like I think they can do better. Is my point.
Yeah. What do you think will happen to him after the series? I think this is a reference to Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma. I think I don't think there are rumors that he could retire even after this MCG test. So it's he might not
I
even make it to Sydney. So like there's a lot of conversation to be had. I mean there's a lot of conversation
I
whether
think I think that we're being a bit too hopeful.
no, I'm not. We're not being. It's not about being hopeful. I'm. These are just the reports that are coming through. We're just relaying information. I don't know if it'll happen. If it happens before Sydney, bro, like that'll be insane.
But if it happens before Sydney, I think Sydney were winning just by that sheer
Like
morale
I
change in
agree.
morale. I think we just win because, like, bro, the first test we were like the. I think that's the biggest difference for us. Like the first test, we were out to win. We were out to get blood. I think after that, the next three, it's just been how to avoid defeat, how to see through the test without getting embarrassed. I feel that's our major attitude difference.
Okay, yeah, I know. I mean, just moving on from Rohit Sharma now to what's happened today at the start of play. Now, Rishabh Pant and Ravindra Jadeja going pretty decently until Lion came on. I thought Lion was dangerous, but until then there was nothing really happening. It was pretty comfortable for both of them. And Rishabh Pant tries to pull out a ramp, which he misses the first time. It hits him in the stomach flush, Scott Boland, and then he tries to do it again the next ball. Now, there's bro the debate on social media and just in the cricketing world right now about this is for me. I think it's very surprising because
What is
a
surprising?
like I'll tell you what is surprising to me. I want to know if you guys back the whole thing or not, but I don't. I think it's absolute nonsense, bro. Like, I can't believe you are so brain dead to play a shot like that when you have fine leg, you have square leg, and you have a deep third man. I mean, even if you connect, are you backing yourself to clear the ground? Like, dude, it's insane. Like, dude, for me, okay, the one thing I will say is it's also the same as if there is a deep mid wicket, deep long on, and deep long off, you're trying to hit it down the ground for six. I still think that's very stupid to do given the circumstance of the game. So regardless of what the field setting was, like whatever the situation was, when you had three men behind the wicket who are there for that, exactly that, you're still trying it. I could not believe it, bro. I was like, bro, you have a better chance of clearing it down the ground. Do it. You have the ability to do it. If you're really that intent on going aggressive, take the less risky option. If I think it's a completely different story if fine leg was up, if third man was up. yeah, then the risk of the shot is much lower. You have the men in the deep for the catch, and you're still going for it. That is absolutely ridiculous. I think for Sunil Gavaskar to explode the way he did, I think was justified. Maybe not on air, but I completely get the emotion. Like I can't. When Rishabh Pant played that shot, that field was not like it they set it that for that ball. It was the same field for a while. They had kept that pushed square leg back, that pushed fine leg back, and Nathan Lyon had been there since the first ball of the day, ball of the morning for that very thing. And he still went for it. Dude, I could not make sense of it. I don't know what you guys thought of about it, because in that situation where it was crunch, that was it was that partnership that was very, very crucial. We were trailing by a huge margin. It wasn't one of those in extravagant chances where you just needed 250, 300 runs, quickly score and done. Dude, you have to stay in the game. You had to stay in the game at that point. And for Rishabh Pant to try that, I thought was absolutely ridiculous. I seen Michael Vaughan come out and say, no, 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 he's backed him. He's like, that's the way he plays. I'm like, bro, what is that? What is that? That's the way he plays. So you don't care about the team. Like, do you not care about what the situation of the game is? If you're a real team player, take the least risky option and do it. If you want to play aggressive, take the least risky option. You're doing it with the field spread out. To me, it didn't make any sense. I don't know what you guys thought about it, but yeah, that was my 2 cents on it. But yeah, like, what did you guys make of it? What do you guys think it was fine for him to try it? Is that the way he plays? What do you think about it?
See, bro, I mean, me personally, I'm fine with it. Just for the fact that, see, the game of cricket, it, I get the fact that Test cricket is different from T20 ODIs, where you have an entire day. Technically, you have unlimited overs till the fifth day to bat if you really want to. You don't really need to push the limits. You can play however you want, whatever you like to, like the way you want to play. I get all that, but again, cricket as a batsman, just for the fact that there's a fielder there, you can't not back yourself to clear him. I really don't like the mentality of saying there's a fielder there, don't back yourself trying to hit a six over him. You have to have the mentality of, I don't care if the fielder's there, I can play it over him. I think that's an important aspect of a batsman to have that mentality. Without that, I don't think you can really score sixes. You can't really play shots no
You
matter
don't
what. Just
need
for
to
the
you don't need to hit sixes if the
no, no,
field
no, no.
is there.
That's what I'm trying to say. In T20, that's what I try to say. Like T20, maybe this mentality works better just for the fact that there's limited overs. Coming back to Test cricket, that's what I'm saying. You might not want to have the mentality of can I hit it over him, but for me, Rishabh Pant's done this hundreds of times. That's what I want to get back to. This is not something like he's regularly being getting out like this. Every time there's a deep fine leg, deep, third man,
There
whatever
isn't,
it is.
Adi, there isn't. That's the difference.
Rahul,
Every time,
please go watch the game
I'm
against
down.
New Zealand.
I'm down to watch his previous ramp
Against New
shots.
Zealand?
I
Against New
against
Zealand?
New Zealand, I don't know. Against New Zealand, I haven't watched the test games. But before New
Exactly.
Zealand,
But
I
there
can go
were
to any
PGT
game.
2021, they
There
did
was
not
not
have
there
the
was
deep
no
third man. They did
situation.
not have a deep fine
There
leg,
was
by the way.
no situation where you had
Rishi,
two, three deep
Rishi,
men.
but I'm
There
just
isn't.
talking about recently. Like he's done it a lot. Like that's my fact. If a batsman's done it and been able to do it a lot, I don't want to sit and say why are you doing it. The point is you can get out in different ways. Like you can. I would say Rohit Sharma's shot was air quotes more stupid the way Sunil Gavaskar
How is it?
described it.
No, how is it any different? When your team needs you to perform, you are hitting. Okay, if it worked, he's getting it over, like, say, the fielder over there, they're going to run two or three because that shot is not clearing going to the boundary. So you're getting at best 3 runs. So, okay, he's playing a risky shot. If he gets away with it, it's rewarding. But if not, you're putting your team in deep trouble. How is this any less culpable? How is this any less irresponsible than Rohit Sharma's wicket?
Dude, the thing is,
It's a matter of
even if he
effort,
cleared,
Rishi. The Rohit Sharma shot was not even a full shot. Rohit Sharma, he didn't
Oh,
even
just
complete a
because
shot.
this guy fell on the
He
floor.
just came and touched like this. My whole point is the fact that there was no ball to be hit there when Rohit Sharma got out, and he didn't even complete a shot. It was just a short ball. He didn't complete his pull shot. He was not even ready to play it properly. He didn't even complete. That is not even a proper cricketing shot to be saying, why did he attempt it? If you're trying to attempt a shot, you need to be able to complete it. With Punt, I've seen him at sixes in the same balls. Today it looks different now because it came on the top of the edge, went to what deep fine third man. Where was it? I can't remember, but it went to Nathan Lyon. Sorry, yeah,
Deep
and he got
point,
out. It looks
deep
it
point
looks
slip field. The slip
it
fielder was
looks
playing in the back. Yeah.
yeah, but it looks stupid now. But my whole point is Punt has done this before, and the fact that he's cleared it a lot in the T20 World Cup, he scored sixes like this.
Bro, I
I'm
don't
sorry to
care about
say.
the T20 World Cup. It's smaller boundaries. This is an
Dude, it's not a.
85-meter
It is the
boundary.
fact that if you're able to clear it and you have the mentality, I can clear it. You take it. Now it's the. It comes down
I,
to the
I,
point of is Punt.
I
Can
can't.
Punt do it? He's done it before, Rahul. My
No,
point is
Adi,
he's
when
done
has
it
he
before.
done it? When there is a fine leg, even if the dude, you know what? Yesterday, even if he had cleared it, I would have said, bro, this is the most stupid shot you can play, if given the circumstance
See,
of the game.
that's the thing for me. Like the mentality of being able to take people on and that confidence, I appreciate it. I don't think that's irresponsible. I just think that's confidence. And if a player's able to do it, good enough. Bro, for example, you see Gale hitting it over all fielders, you wouldn't sit and call him stupid, right? In T20, we all stood up
It
and
is,
clapped for him.
bro.
It's the
It
same
is.
thing.
If it is in a T20 game where there's limited overs and you need to score runs quickly, it's a different story. It's a different story
But
when you
I'm
don't need
sorry,
to score runs quickly and
but like
you
you
need to
can
put a price on your wicket. When your team is five down and you're struggling and you need 300 more runs basically to score, and you know that you're probably one of the premium batters in the team, your responsibility increases significantly.
see, but I
It is
get that,
not
but I'm coming
the
down to the
same.
fact that he's going to a shot that's helped him a lot. Like that's my whole point. If he's playing shots which is, for example, this is the first time he's played that shot. I would agree. Like I would be like, why did you do that? Like people fuming at that thing, I would be like, yeah, fine. But if a player has played a certain way and been able to score runs behind his back a lot, and he is one of the best. I'm sorry to say, like in Test cricket, he's the only one who's brave enough to do it and does it a lot. And he's done it quite often, and it's helped him a lot, and it's come in fruit for him. My point is, if a player has that strength, I wouldn't want to sit there and be like, don't play the shots. That's all my what I'm trying to say. Like my point is, if you can play that, and if you're a confident batsman, and if you can literally play it, play it. Like they're going to put those fielders there for that sake. But see, it is down to the batsman. If it came out well, if he had two, three sixes on, over the ropes, I think people would have
I
been
would still
applauding.
not say it's worth it, bro. Like I would still say
See,
like
I mean, that's the thing. It's just a perspective. Like, I get what you guys mean by it's not worth it because we're playing test match. We have unlimited overs. You don't have to go play that shot when it's not needed. But my point is, where is the limit for batsmen
no,
to
it's not
showcase
even the
their
difference.
skills?
It's not even the fact that you have a lot of time to play. My only thing is it is a very risky shot in that situation. Now
Rahul, is
if
situations
if
always like
you're
this. Every time punt
if
comes,
you're
the
no
situation is where
no,
it is
if your
always like
third
that
man
for
is up,
him.
if your fine leg is up and you play that shot, you play it, bro. I have no problem with you playing that shot. When you have all the fielders they can possibly have behind in the deep, then it becomes a very, very stupid decision. I cannot get on board with the idea that it's literally saying like basically we're saying that you're five down, you're struggling, imagine like Pat Cummins is bowling, long on is behind, long off is behind, mid wicket, deep mid wicket is behind, all three are behind, and you're slogging it for six. It's the same thing, and
But that is
I
my
would not be
point.
on board with that
I feel like
also.
Rahul, my point is, if let's put the same thing, like long on, long off is there. As a bowler, you get a juicy, in the right length to hit a six. I would back a batsman to hit a six because that's their primary job in terms of if you can get the best of a batsman, if you can hit a player for a six, bowler for a six, that's the maximum runs as a batsman you can get. And if you can do
Adi,
it,
that,
good enough.
that shot that he's hitting, he is on his way to the floor. A. B. He does not know where the ball is going. C.
Rishi,
Although
what do
this
you
has
mean?
happened,
He does
this is
not know where the ball is
gotten
going.
away. This has gotten away in the past. Is not a license for you to do it at
It is, bro.
XYZ
It is
point.
not a fact of he's
If,
gotten away with
if
it.
it's a full
It's not a
toss, if
fact of
it's a
his.
full toss, you have a control over your shot. You know definitely if I'm playing a straight drive, the ball is going straight over the bowler.
No, I literally agree. It's literally like an attacking midfielder dribbling inside his own box under pressure. Like would you suggest that just because he can
Oh,
get out of the side
Rahul, there
spin?
are a lot of. Are you saying if a situation again? I don't like to compare cricket to football because in football, if there is a lot of press and the best it is a high risk. But if you can evade that press, you're having
Adi,
an
we have
empty
played
field in
football
front of
together,
you.
and I know how you react to situations like this. So there's
What do
no
you
way
mean,
we're having
Rahul?
this
If
conversation
there
right
is,
now.
bro, if there is a good footballer in the D and he's able to dribble past, it's a risk. You're trying to dribble past, but if you do succeed, you have an empty field because everyone's pressed
Yeah,
forward.
correct. But would
You
you
have more
suggest it
space in
to?
the end.
Would you
My
suggest
whole
it?
point
Would
is,
you
if there is
recommend
a
it?
player, but my point is, if it is a player who doesn't know how to dribble doing that, I would be like, why is he doing that? But if it's a good dribbler, a silky dribble who can dribble through the midfield, why would I say don't do it? That's my whole point. It is
Nah,
each player has their own,
I
you
can't.
know,
I cannot get on
skills.
board with this, bro. Like, I
It,
mean, but
dude,
fair
that's the
enough.
thing. But
Fine that we just agree to disagree. I guess like with the whole Rishabh Pant, I
So I
still
think
don't
like
think
we
there
have
is.
to like look at the context. We have to look at the bigger picture because these players, this is not a newbie. This is not someone like Sam Constas who's come in. He wants to help the team, like who is facing the pressure of Bumrah. This is the situation's completely different. Like let's go back to day two. The pitch is already flat. The bowlers, the Australian bowlers are struggling. Yashasvi Jaiswal and Virat Kohli are in complete command. They are motoring through runs. And then the bowlers don't do anything out of their way to get a wicket. That happened 1 in 100 ball with KL Rahul. Okay, so the blueprint is there in the sense that unless you go out of your way to do something extremely brain dead, they are not going to get you out. Okay, and the blueprint was there in the sense that Yashasvi Jaiswal went out of his way to find innovative ways to get out. Up until then, ball after ball, every ball that Virat Kohli played till that point was one of the most disciplined innings from Virat Kohli I had seen in a long time. In the sense, every ball that was bowled outside off stump, he's leaving it. Pristine, he's leaving it. Pat Cummins had an over where 6 balls he bowled good length on the fourth stump, on the fifth stump. Virat, if it's coming to his body, he blocks it. If it's outside off, he diligently leaves it. There is no way, like the bowlers are visibly frustrated. There is no solution for them. And then right after the wicket, Virat loses his concentration. The same ball that Boland bowled just outside off stump, Virat goes fishing. His wicket falls. So you know the script. The pitch hasn't changed overnight. Ravindra Jadeja and Rishabh Pant are batting comfortably. There is no the pitch hasn't become a landmine. The suddenly it hasn't become overcast conditions where it's moving laterally. It is literally the ball is going to skid off the pitch, and for pacers, it is absolutely docile. So in that scenario, you are 303 runs behind. The follow on scenario has still not gone away. In that scenario, the bowlers, the captain has come up with a plan. They know exactly what you're going to try to do right from ball one. They have anticipated and they've placed 3 fielders just waiting for you to do it. You hit one shot, you get a six with it. That's a reward. Fine. You're gonna have your confidence boosted. You're gonna try it again. You're gonna have another six. You're gonna have 3 sixes. The fourth time you try, you are when you're halfway down the ground. I mean, when you're falling off the floor, when you're going down, you actually don't have like that much control that you think you have. So the chances of you sending it up, that ball could have gone anywhere on the field. It's only that the possibility they place 3 fielders behind, because the possibility of it mistiming and mishitting and going behind is very high. So, under such circumstances, someone who's played for India, someone who has been there, he knows it's not a newbie. So, someone who's been there, for you to be like, you know what, this 6 runs, this streaky 6 runs that I'm going to get, is it worth the risk of me putting my team in jeopardy? Because after this, it's going to be a newbie. His like Nitish Kumar Reddy, it's his first series here. It's his first test series. Washington Sundar hasn't played a lot of test cricket before this. And again, it's Australia. It's gonna like there is no way I can put them under pressure. Jadeja hasn't gotten out. They're playing comfortably. So in given all this context, as a senior player, you seriously have to consider, is the risk worth the reward? Like, okay, like if I get this six, is it really worth me putting my wicket on the line? If it is, again, I come back to the point that if it is Sam Constas trying this, it's entirely different. This is a new ball game. He hasn't yet gotten experience. But for a senior player like Rishabh Pant to come in and do this, I don't think there's anything wrong in what Sunil Gavaskar felt, nor what Sunil Gavaskar said, because it actually shows that he cares. He is one of us fans. Like
Yeah.
regardless of him being a legend or not,
Wait,
at the
wait.
end
So
of the
you're saying calling someone stupid on
he
world
didn't,
television is
And he
okay?
didn't call him
he didn't
stupid.
call
He didn't
him
call
stupid. He
Rishabh
called the
stupid.
shot selection
He
stupid,
called
and that
Oh,
shot
he called
selection
the
was
oh
selection
yeah.
stupid.
stupid.
He literally says you have to be stupid to do that.
No, that's not what he said.
He
If you
said
go and
that
listen to
shot,
the
like,
tape again, that's not what
yeah,
he said.
he
He
said
said
stupid,
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 stupid.
stupid, stupid shot. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he
Hmm.
said.
Yeah.
Like I feel over these years, I feel our senior players have been overly protected
Yeah, I
by
agree, dude. Like,
any commentators, any media people, because they are too afraid to, like, go stand up against them because of the repercussions. And I don't think there's anything wrong, because he didn't say anything, because I'm fairly sure at least 95% of the Indians who were watching the
felt it.
game, when he scooped the ball up, when the ball went up in the air, my brain literally went, oh my
Yeah,
god, was that really
no, no.
necessary?
I felt that the ball before only. I was like, the first time he tried, I was like, bro, are you insane? You know
Like,
the field set that
exactly.
is there.
Like, he didn't say anything that
Yeah,
Indians didn't feel like.
I felt it. I felt let down at that point because at the end of the day,
Exactly.
dude, you're letting your team down. You're letting a lot of people down there. You don't need
Exactly.
to try it. Even
Like,
if you try
when
it, like
somebody
be a little
like
more
when
pragmatic
somebody
about it.
of his stature, who has who it's not even like someone who's new to the situation. He has been in this situation before. He knows what is needed for us to grind out a result. And for someone like of his experience to just throw his wicket away, because again, if the ball is moving, if the ball is turning, you need some quick runs, then again, okay, you understand,
Yeah.
because you have you have a wicket on your name. Like, it's only a matter of time before which you're going to lose your wicket, because in this situation there is no evident reward that you're going to get. Like, okay, you score six
Absolutely
runs,
not.
the next
Exactly.
ball that you're going to ramp and try is pretty much a wicket ball. So, like, Sunil Gavaskar, again, I don't think there's anything wrong in what he said, because he was pretty much talking as a fan, and there is no
Yeah.
profanity. He just got a bit emotional, and I think it is time that you get strict, you get a little bit, like, harsh on these players, because I feel they have been protected for a long time. And
Mm.
what he said is right. Like using the umbrella that, oh, this is his game, I feel that is pure
That is the
stupid,
most, bro.
because
That is the one of the
being
most ridiculous
responsible,
arguments I've
I
heard
think,
in my life.
I think this is a new trend that we're seeing, that
Absolutely,
people
bro.
are
Like
escaping responsibility under the umbrella that, oh, this is his game. Like, I feel to an
bro.
extent, like, now like, see,
I
sometimes when
swear.
Maxwell does what he does, I feel you also criticize him, but then
Yeah.
a lot of people are like, dude, this is just Maxwell's game. Like,
No,
when it
that's
suits you,
ridiculous. Like, bro,
like,
then don't play. Like, if you can't take up
exactly,
a
like,
little bit of
if you
responsibility,
can't, if you don't
don't,
understand what the team needs you to
bro.
do and cater to that, you are not a responsible player,
Bro,
and
that's
your
what
team
I
depend on
always
you.
think. Bro, I always think. Okay, I'm like, what kind of player was? If I ask you tomorrow, like, or today, what kind of a player is Ajinkya Rahane? Like, your most immediate response will probably be, oh yeah, he's a classical batsman. He's played Test cricket. He's a naturally like a technically sound player who's probably best at his red ball game. But when Ajinkya Rahane, the first few years for Rajasthan Royals was amazing opening the batting. Like he played with freedom and played the game the way it had to be played at that point. Like in the 6 overs, knows his strengths, do what is required. You don't need to like, bro. This whole thing of like, oh my god, like that's his game. That's ridiculous, bro. Like then what? I can say whatever I want, and I'll have no culpability at all. Like that's not fair. I
Yeah, I
don't
know.
think that's fair.
I want to know the people, like everyone who are defending Rishabh Pant saying that's his game. Like, so at what point would you hold him responsible for throwing his wicket away? Like, imagine now, okay, 300 runs were needed. Now, imagine if it was like 6 runs needed. Okay, there are three fielders over there. That was not a ball which demanded you to play it behind the wicket, because it was a full over pitch ball. You
Yeah,
could have comfortably just lofted it. Like, I think the length was the same that Nitish Reddy got it when he hit his 100. It was
yeah,
overpitched. It was too
pretty much
full.
the same.
He just had to scoop, like, he just literally had to show it above the mid off or mid on.
Mid on, yeah.
That ball, if he has to go out of his way, and mind you, Boland has changed his bowling. Like, he's gone from around the over the wicket to around the wicket. It's not even the same where, like, the LBW is taken out. Like, even now, if he's walking across, you have a risk of LBW as well. So considering all this, it was just a walking wicket. I feel that is, he's just let his country down. Like, I don't think it's fair to say that, okay, that is his natural game, because irresponsibility
I
is
agree.
not a
I
natural game.
agree. I completely. I think there was a lot of emotion in the commentary box today, from this Sunil Gavaskar moment to Ravi Shastri crying. I think shedding a tear for Nitish Reddy's 100. Incredible. I think we've done a lot about Rishabh Pant. We have to talk about Nitish Reddy. Like I think has been incredible, dude. Like it's not again like I don't think Nitish Reddy is the most special batter. Like I don't think he's like a Sachin Tendulkar or a Virat Kohli esque like very pleasing on the eye, or not even like a KL Rahul who's extremely like he's got his good drives. He's got a good range of drives that he can play the off drive, he can play the straight drive, on drive, looks good in front of the wicket, but just character and mentality, bro. Like the ability to stay busy. Like I think somebody, I don't know who described it. I think it was Harsha Bogle or Ravi Shastri itself. Just kind of described him as somebody who likes to be busy. He kept the strike moving. If you wouldn't see Nitish Reddy play too many maidens, every third or fourth ball, he would try to pinch a single somewhere, and it inevitably it makes a big difference because then there's a lefty at the other end. You have to bowl to him, change your fields, change your angles. Everything changes. It's the maturity. Like if you go through both Washington, I think Washington and Nitish Reddy, both of them, if you go through their innings, you won't see like although they did score boundaries, there was very impressive ones that were taken throughout that innings. And yeah, like what do you think about Washington Sundar's 50 with just one boundary? Like it was a lot of brilliant working the strike, like moving it, like what Rishabh Pant should have done when the field was spread. Work it to fine leg, work it to long on, work it to long off, like whatever, take the singles. They're there, they've spread the field for you. They want, and if you can take 4 5 runs in an over like that, you're basically done. And that's what they did. They ran twos, they ran threes, they took good singles. And I think, bro, like just the character and mentality this guy bats with, and just the way he presents himself, I really think like India found like someone who's going to play Test cricket for a long time. I don't think it's so much like. Of course, the skill is there. He has batting ability. Hopefully, his bowling matures as time progresses. Hopefully, he can improve there. But if he does play with the same maturity and the way he presents himself as a cricketer, bro, I really think he's got a long way to play. He doesn't look like someone who's faced. Looks like he's up for the battle, and he's playing every single innings in a tough situation. Every single time he's coming to bat, it's his back is against the wall, but he always responds. Like that character, like his character more than anything to me stands out. And I'm genuinely a Nitish Reddy fan. I think like since his first Test match, like the way he played is just I don't know, man. There's something different about this kid, and I really hope he plays like for a long time. And I really hope like the next time India tour, we're probably not playing I think a Test series for a while now until we go to England next year. So if they do go to England, I'm sure he'll come in handy with the ball there. But with the bat, I really would like to see him like play a little higher up, just the way he bats. A lot of maturity, and he's got the least fall stroke percentage in the Indian team. Not in I don't think in the Indian team. I think throughout the entire series, like every batter included, he's got the least fall stroke percentage, which shows like he's there. He's ready for Test cricket. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
but
was
like
just going
what?
to say that,
Yeah,
like he, like for someone who's come in always and played so late, it's like he's almost played with a tail. Like for him to, like show so much composure. It's easy for him. Yesterday, I think in the whole of his batting, I thought I saw one streaky shot where off Cummins he like it went between gully and third slip for a four. I don't think there's been any single shot where it looked like it was a half-hearted shot. Like I think we were having a discussion in the morning, and Adi said like the pitch had become like very docile. Like I was like, yeah, that's very true. The pitch had become
it
like
is. It
very
is.
docile.
It had.
Like it was fairly easy for people to bat on. At the same time, our top order batsmen, our senior batsmen were finding innovative ways to jeopardize our innings, right? Like in such a situation, like I don't think, of course, it is not the hardest situations to bat on in terms of physical conditions. Like it's not overcast, it's not the pitch is not sending in beamers, it's not sending bouncers. But when your senior batsmen are collapsing left, right, center, for you to bat with pretty much the tail and just one more all rounder, I feel that is what really stands out. Like it's not the hardest situation in the sense it's not the hardest pitch. Like probably if KL Rahul was there in his situation, if Yashasvi Jaiswal was in his situation, if they might have, if Rishabh Pant was probably playing there, even they might have scored centuries. But the fact that he actually did, while these guys, KL Rahul, of course, that it was a 1 in 100 ball, like you would legitimate couldn't do anything. But I feel every other batsman, even uh, Jadeja to an extent, because I felt he was struggling consistently to Nathan Lyon. even Washington Sundar, like that was just they were just working them over. I felt it was slowly working them over, but I feel everyone else were pretty much handing the wicket over to Aussies. I think in that situation, I think that's what we should highlight about Nitish Kumar Reddy, in the sense that he just stood his ground. He like I think he won the. I think the mental battle was bigger, in the sense that it wasn't hard to execute the strokes. It was just about, okay, am I gonna do something flashy? Am I gonna like fall for the bait and lose my wicket, or am I gonna hold my ground? I think that mental battle, him winning that mental battle, showed something that our senior batsmen hadn't showed in this
Yeah.
entire game. I feel that is what deserves the credits.
Bro, and the way both of them played short pitch bowling was amazing. Like I could not be every time I saw both of them sort of weave and duck and like move out of like the short stuff. Bro, I was like, there was like a huge smile on my face literally every time that happened. They just let it go. The way they played the short stuff, they didn't try to jab at it. They didn't try to hook or pull and unnecessarily throw their wicket away. But again, like just the resolve they showed was just amazing, dude. Like I thought that partnership was special. I thought Washington Sundar, the way he played Nathan Lyon was fantastic. Like uh I thought Jadeja, like I think it's not his fault. I don't think you can call it his fault, but it's more like that's just the way he plays spin. And he's done that a bunch of times where he gets caught on the crease, he goes
So there
back
was,
to
there was
the
like a
off spinner.
phase where it was bowling from one end and line the other end. They weren't giving
Yeah.
anything away. Like they were just, they kept tightening the screw, kept tightening the screw. Like, of course, like you have to be prepared for it. But I feel it's one of those situations where, okay, they eventually just worked our batsmen over. Like,
Mhm. Yeah. And just about Nitish's transformation, I think from T20 to Test cricket, I don't think Ravi Shastri said it in commentary that nobody expected it. Nobody in India also knew what he could bring to Test cricket because his averages in first class cricket aren't great with the bat. It's about 20 or something. So we nobody knew what to expect from him, but clearly there's a player there and clearly there's a batter there. But yeah, Adi, what do you think, bro, of that 100? Because it's a special one. It's a special one also given the situation, dude. Like this is exactly what I love innings when where you're under the pump, your team is absolutely getting hammered, and you produce something like that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. I feel like, as you guys said it, I think it was more about the responsibility it took. I think it's come from the first test, what I've seen. It is that he has a discipline. That's what I was trying to say that day also. Like, just because, your top order is crumbling down and everyone's crumbling down around you, it actually gets easier for you to get out because you can always put the blame, or like the light goes to the top order when, like one batsman like keeps getting out. That's what I keep trying to say. The fact that all his innings, I guess he's had like what, two, three forties and 138, and now a century. Like all the innings when he has, come and batted, it's in a situation where you're batting against tailenders, where they're most likely going to lose their wicket. And he knows that there's not much runs scored because the top order really crumbled. And the fact that his position where he comes is the trickiest because you really have no expectation from like, there is no expectation from you. You can literally go try to hit a six in the first 10 balls. If you get out, no one's going to tell anything because, the previous five players who came before you have already put you under pressure. And the fact that he's taken the responsibility, played it patiently, and been able to, take his time. It is not a matter of skill. That's what I say. Test cricket is more of a matter of, are you ready to play the balls? Like Washington Sundar today, you don't need to be the best batsman to score runs in Test cricket. You can see if you're patient enough, the ball will start coming to you where you can score runs. And in a ground like MCG, where it's so huge, if you hit it in a gap, even if it doesn't go for a four, you can get easily threes, and you can keep rotating threes and doubles a lot. And that's what they did very well today. Like both of them, Washington only hit 1 4, and even Nitish Kumar, like the way there was, putting pressure by taking doubles and even triples. Like, dude, at a point of time, like the Australian fielders were very tired of running. I could see them because every third ball they were taking doubles, and when you're taking a double in MCG, you're making the fielders run a lot. And I think it was more of the fact that, okay, he can play smartly. I think that's impressed me more. I think technique. I think I still believe. I would, to be fair, think, like, I would like to say that I think he has one of the best techniques in the Indian team. I think he would be in the top there. Like I think he's a very beautiful batsman to watch, and he has his strokes have a lot of power also. Like when he tries to hit a shot for his six, his timing, the way he finds the middle of the bat and can apply the power. I think it's a bit unique in my opinion because I don't see a lot of batsmen who can do that consistently in red ball cricket, especially because even Pant, you see Pant, his sixes are very edgy. Like it's not always from the middle of the bat. So yeah, I think for me, I don't like putting pressure on young players, bro. That's one thing for me. I always like to give them time because every time it's your first series, you have players playing in a certain way, and then 1 year, 2 years down the line, you see a different player in any player. So I always don't like going, especially with young players who's 21, 22. And that's why with Jaiswal, even with Gill, the first time we saw him in 2020, the way we were speaking about Gill to what it is today, it's changed. And that's why I just like to be patient with these kind of youngsters because I just don't know. Till I get to see the bigger picture with these youngsters, I don't want to sit and say he needs to play number three, number four, number five. Right now, if the way he plays, if he continues, at least I think India has a responsible batsman at that middle order. I would actually prefer him down the order than early, just for the fact that he has a responsibility to play, and that's what I liked about Rane a lot before. Also, like one of the reasons I really liked Rane was the fact that he had the patience to play when players around him Rane used to always come in a situation where it's a pressure situation, and he used to tackle that pretty well. And I see a bit similar profile with Nitish, where like when there's pressure, he can still play it well. He can play his own game in his own time. I think that's important, and I feel like I would rather have him middle of the order or like lower middle of the order in time. And yeah, I mean, let's see how he goes like overall.
Yeah, he seems like a good number five, number six to have if they ever decide to promote him. Hopefully, it comes soon after Rohit is gone. But no, it's so weird one. It's this test match is poised very nicely. It's still Australia advantage, obviously. Hopefully, India can add about another 15-20 runs. I'm being optimistic. In this last for this last 10th wicket. So yeah, hopefully, and yeah, then it's going to be a tough day. Even if Australia choose to score about 150, 160 runs on day four and put India into bat on day five, there is a day for of work to do. Rishi, just quickly before we finish, um, if that is it is most likely going to be the case where India probably add another 15 runs and we are done, and Australia have a 100-run lead and they score say another 150, 160. You think they're going to declare and put India to bat for the final day?
Bro, I think it will become very interesting like the third test because say they put 250 on the board and they declare towards the end of the day. Okay. And we start chasing down, we start getting 50 for no loss, or say we start getting 100 for two. I think it's a real situation where they have just gone ahead and declared and then they've given the match to us. I think they I think the fact that we stayed put and we've cut down their lead so far, I think that has really taken the game off of them. Because I was reading on Twitter also and everywhere, like the Aussies, right after Pant left, they had pretty much started thinking, okay, we're gonna put up a 300 lead, we're gonna put up a 350 lead, because they pretty much expected like Australia to bat today. I think the fact that they got this resistance and they were visibly irritated because they didn't have anything to like get these guys out. So I think the fact that we have stayed on this long and how like the game it panned out the previous test also, I think it's a fine line because if you have to win, if from an Australian perspective, if they have to win this game, they have to be prepared to lose this game, because if they want to play it safe and if they want to like give us a 350 total, I don't think there's enough time for us to even get out or chase the total. I think it's a no man's land. But if they want to give us a 200, 250 total and give us 1 day to bat, I think there's every possibility. I think there's a bigger possibility of us chasing it down than losing the wicket, because 250 in 1 day, it is possible on this wicket because it is not doing much. At the same time, unless we go forward and throw our wickets away, like I don't think they can work us over that easily in 1 day as well. So if they want to pretty much gamble on it, they'll have to it's a big risk for them, because declaring and winning is quite an embarrassment. And then if we win the test, the BGT is pretty much ours.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't think they will risk at this point. I think they're gonna try and take it to Sydney itself.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it's probably again like a risky one because you're expecting India to be best at Sydney, probably best of the venues for us because we get to play both our spinners, for sure. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. See how Australia approach it. It's also going to be interesting to see how many more runs India can put on for this 10th wicket. Nitish Reddy is still at the crease. He can clear the boundary. We've seen it. So if Nitish Reddy can add, say, another 20 more runs and Siraj can sort of hang in there, it would
Mohammad
do.
Siraj
It
can
would.
defend balls, leave balls also, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it was impressive that those three balls he played. But like, let's see what happens tomorrow. It's an exciting finish to this test. It's been a great series so far. It looks like it's going to be another very tight Border Gavaskar Trophy. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like and share the video, subscribe to Sports Kabri, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.